football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us across the Atlantic and along the River Liffey in the wonderful city of Dublin, Ireland. Coming up, another installment of the NFL International Series, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Nighthawks of Dublin.
Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at these Dubliners entering play here. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Kramer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
That's a good start to the ball game. Maybe a little bit of a tone setter offensively. They come out throwing right away, and it's an early completion and a quick first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Go.
Herbert running left off the option. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
But you look at this defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Ready.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
The numbers for Gibbs from last week,
just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves.
Okay,
I think
ready?
it's their team. Things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard. They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
On 1st and 10, Gentry. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Gregory. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 23. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Setting up the screen, this is Gibbs.
Touchdown!
Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's career touchdown number 131, and it ties him with Chris Carter for number 8 on the all-time list.
And the Nighthawks use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And Jahmyr Gibbs finished it all off with a touchdown grab.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Herbert. Under pressure, they got him again.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. Herbert now. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. That's taken on the 25.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the role and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
11 yards there, 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Counter play, here's Gibbs.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year.
And the Nighthawks are able to add on to that lead.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They currently sit one game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out.
Charger football to start quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. On 1st down, Justin Herbert.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Herbert. And that's incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. That'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
84 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Cowboy 80. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready, ready.
To throw on 2nd down, Gentry. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On the jump.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Ready.
Operating from the gun, Gentry. That is caught. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 38-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Here we go.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gentry. And his his throw here is incomplete.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Come on.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready.
They'll look to throw again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Let's go now.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Back to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Let's go.
Now a 2nd and 10.
60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Go.
Throwing again. Gentry. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
On 3rd down, here's Gibbs.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
4th down to give to Gibbs.
And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run on 4th and goal from the 4 is stopped short, and the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set.
They'll start on the ground with Spears.
Go.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave them some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
Here's Spears on 2nd down. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, here's Spears.
And they're going to get the 1st down here as he's up to the 14. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
380. Run. Set.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Right back to Spears.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Take it at the 37. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. Looking to throw. Gentry.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through.
Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. That pick six just a moment ago. Things went from bad to worse. Look up at the scoreboard now. Not looking good here. We'll see if they can put something together on this drive. 1st and 10.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the 50, here's Herbert. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
The kick by Bass is good.
And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point up and through, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll kick things off with an AFC East clash in upstate New York. Buffalo hosting New England, and it's the Patriots with the lead in that one. The Pats locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head to Philly.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for him. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they've got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people... attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And a nice job there skipping away from the one tackle. It ends up getting 5 yards out of that. Second down.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. They'll go again. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
Yeah, he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
122 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Facing short yardage on 3rd down, but he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league, and that's not normally a running down, and they fooled him with it. Safety had to make the play. Otherwise, he's still running, and the next thing, he runs right into the goalpost.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Gibbs straight ahead.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
So the field goal unit is coming on here, and boy, this is going to be darn near impossible. And his kick is absolutely perfect.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Go.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends.
Here's Herbert.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Go.
On the option right, Herbert pushing through the contact. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's
on Herbert, his third interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
On second down, here's Gibbs. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Another run for Gibbs here. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready, set.
The offense on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. He finds his man, complete. It's Kramer. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
Set.
Back to throw. Herbert. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half.
No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
2nd and 10. Herbert throwing again. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Baylor tight.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. 32 yards.
And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And now it's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Now you figure with a veteran kicker out there, these extra points almost automatic, but this one turns into 2 points the other way.
And we both know it's hard to put it on him. I think there was a breakdown in the protection, but guess what? It does go against his...
And he's loose again. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Herbert.
He finds his man complete. That's Kramer. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Herbert connects with Kittle underneath. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll set up the screen for Spears. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them. Go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Gregory Rousseau.
Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to do.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Nolan Smith in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs now leads to a 3rd and long.
Here's Herbert. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jack Campbell. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Dublin's offense now set to take over. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down.
Encroachment, defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8.
70 Timberwolves. Ready.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 144 yards rushing now for the ball game on 24 carries.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He finds his man complete. That's Gregory. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Hand off now to Gibbs.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Now 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibbs.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Gentry. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And Jahmyr Gibbs finished it all off with a touchdown grab.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Dubliners, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games.